Welcome everybody to Filmora Effects, and today I'm going to try to show you how I made that cool little magic trick intro of a very simple thing. All I did was cut a potato. And I've got the original footage here. I'm going to scan through it really fast just so you can see what I did. So you see these practice cuts right there. That was because I only had one potato, one knife. I want to do this in one take. So practice cut, lining myself up with the center of the potato. Right there, I touched it just to prepare it. And practice. And the other thing I was practicing was not necessarily the cutting motion. It was the speed that I dropped the blade, because I knew that I was going to have a second cut. And I had to practice dropping the blade the same, so I was feeling the weight of that blade in my hand, and then I finally dropped. And I'm not going to edit that yet. I'm going to show you what I did next. So I just left the camera rolling. By the way, I did this on my phone, a Google Pixel 6, 4K, 60 frames per second, and you're probably wondering what that is on the screen. I'll show you what I did. Now, because this is 4K, 60 frames, this takes just a little bit longer to process. You see the red line slowly moving across. I'm just going to go ahead and process these frames for you real fast, and that way we can look at it in real time. Okay, once you guys are fully rendered out, you can also change from full to half the playback quality. That'll help you a little bit depending on your processor speed. So what we're looking for here is our first edit right there. See that? Boom. So when the knife hits the cutting board, I'm going to now go frame by frame and find where the knife hits the cutting board. There. You can actually hear it in the audio in the background. That's where I need to place a cut. Okay? Now I need the beginning. So I need to get right to the last part of the practice cut. So now watching my shadow on the board. See the shadow from my hand and the knife? I'm going to cut right before that shadow. Right. Nope. Bring it back. Right there. And I can remove everything in the front because we don't need that. Now I'm going to stretch this timeline out, and we're going to scroll across, and here comes the knife. Straight down and chop. Okay, so now what we got to do is go figure out where to place the next cut. So I'm going to show you the raw footage. You can see what I did. I grabbed the closest thing to me on the kitchen counter. It happened to be a keychain, because I needed to mark the position of the potato. So I just sort of wrapped gently around the potato, so because I know I'm going to move this potato when I go to cut it for real, off camera. Okay, so I'm just trying to mark where to put it back at. So that was my little idea of how to remember where it was for the shot. So now I'm cutting it for real, the old-fashioned way. And I'm just kind of laying it there, positioning, and we're going to do the same thing on that one. I don't need the keychain now because I've got my position, and I'm flaying it out slightly so that you can actually see what's going on. So I'm sort of positioning the pieces, so that looks great. Now we're going to chop up the other side without moving it. That was a little tricky because I'm left-handed, and I had to cut with the opposite hand, so I didn't move the potato. So I had to be very, very careful not to slice my fingers off here, because I'm not used to cutting from that side. You see, I had some problems, and finally I just grabbed the potato and cut it, and then I'll just set it back where it goes. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work here that you probably weren't aware of. As long as that's the half under my hand there doesn't move, I can easily position. Just kind of flayed it out, but it's try to keep it in the same shape as it was. Position, position. Okay, now I'm practicing with my knife. Do a lot of practice in these scenes. So I'm practicing with my knife. Now, see, we caught a piece, so we don't like that. Got to reposition. That's good. That's good. Boom. So that's not bad. Let's see what else we got. Let's get right up to the final one. Okay, that's where I laid the knife down. Because what I did is I had to run back and look at the camera. You remember, I've had the camera facing straight down. I couldn't see what I was doing. So I would lay the knife to look at the camera and make sure everything was cool. So that is my final position. Right there. So, on the table, frame by frame, hits the cutting board. One back. Cut it. Everything prior to that can go away. Now guys, I do have ripple turned on. Right here. Auto ripple is on, so that's why when I deleted that centerpiece, it's all moved back over for me. So let's see what we got. And boom. Okay, I think you see the concept here. Boom. Now what I did, stretch it out again. In case there's any blade wiggle, camera movement, anything, I need to stop that. So I'm going to come about 2 frames in, highlight the clip, go to my speed controls, and I'm going to freeze frame it. Okay, that'll hold it still for me. So let's check it again. Yeah, so now we're freeze froze. So we'll just go out here somewhere and just whack the end of that off. We can set all our durations later on. Now we've got way too much lead up time here. So let's get a little closer. Right about when that shadow starts to come in. Okay, we can just kind of take this out. And the next thing I want to do is highlight it all, press M. I have it set for automatic mute. And eventually we're going to get this down to about 3 seconds. This is what the original one is. Got the timeline spaced out so far. The original one is actually 4 seconds and about almost 4.5 seconds. The original one. All right, let's get back over there. All right, so you got the idea already. The trick is in the editing. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. The trick really here, the editing was very simple. The trick was in the camera work on this one. Lining things up, organizing, making it look right for the shot. And that's pretty much true of all your quote-unquote magic tricks. It's really more camera than editing. So here we come. We hit the cutting board. Boom. And she's cut. And then all I did was come in and start throwing in some special effects, continuously trimming this down. One of the things that I did, you notice I have this groove in the cutting board. So I wanted to get rid of that. So I'll double click the first clip. Go to transform, scale to 120. Leave that on the screen. Go over and double click the other track. Punch in 120. Say OK. Now we've zoomed in a little bit. That helps our transition and hides some of that mess on the corner there. Okay. Don't forget to continuously process to render these. The more you edit it, the shorter it's going to get, the faster it's going to render. So I'm already done. All right. Then what we wanted to do was some kind of a transition to get rid of any anything that was not quite right, I guess is the best way to say it. And one of my favorites for that is a simple dissolve. I like dissolve a lot. And what I like to do here is I just shrink it down like so. And we'll render that real fast. And I'll show you the results. So now, that's it right there. See it? Just blurs it together. When you watch that in real time, boom. Seamless. And then I added some smoke. Depends on what what package you guys are subscribed to, but there's a lot of free smoke effects in here. You can just pick what you like. I went into Filmora's audio. I picked some sounds, did a little search for kitchen sounds, used some of that. I found a nice chopping sound for when the potato got chopped, and I just added all the sounds up underneath. I do want to show you one quick feature here. So let's just say kitchen background. So here's one, for example. Yeah, in fact, that's the one I use. Hear it? Kind of a knife clanging, things background in the kitchen. But as a new feature that just got released a few days ago, see this tiny little square there? Okay, that's a search similar feature. Just throw it up, just click on it, it'll go to work for you automatically. I'm going to do a whole video on this, but I'll give you a preview right now. So what it's doing is searching its enormous audio library and just trying to find something that's similar to that noise. It may not find anything if it's a unique noise, or it might find 20 different things. It might even find a song that has a similar tone to it. So we'll give that a couple seconds to search. If it finds something, great. If not, sometimes it just can't find anything. So there we go. So in this case, it found some music. None of that is really close to what I was looking for, but you get the idea. And if you want to get rid of that, just click that right there. And that's it. That's how I made this effect. We'll watch it through real time for the one I just edited. Boom. And of course, with the smoke and the special effects and the noise, you can make this very, very, very realistic. And I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave me some comments. Let me know if you want to see any more of these quote-unquote magic tricks. I got about 1 million of them lined up to go film. But I'm not going to bother if you're not interested. I think they're kind of cool. I like watching Zach King and stuff like that. So I think you probably will too. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me comments. And please hit that like button for me. We'll see you real soon.